Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nodirbek Chess Classic 2025. That, of course, is not the name of the tournament. The tournament is actually London Chess Classic, but Nodirbek is on a four-game winning streak, and he seems to be unstoppable. Last game, he defeated Nicolas Teodorou, who was also undefeated, and now Sam Shankland gets his turn, or rather, he gets a crack at Nodirbek. He's the former US chess champion. He has shown that he can play against anyone. Can he show what he can do against Nodirbek Abdusattorov, who is very, very much in form? Not so long ago, he played in the World Cup, but Nodirbek was eliminated by Jose Martinez. He lost both of the games against him, and as you've seen, Martinez was just incredible in the FIDE World Cup. So definitely not a testament to Nodirbek's strength. Being on a four-game winning streak, on the other hand, definitely is. So can he extend it 5 games? Will Sam have something to say about that? Let's check it out. It's a really interesting game. And also, some of you requested me to reinstate the photo challenges. So here's one from yesterday's game. Who is the person making the first move for Nodirbek? There you go. There's the photo. Fastest answer gets the little heart icon. For now, we can throw in some rewards afterwards. But to give you a little hint, as it says on his X profile, he used to play tennis. Now he plays golf. I probably already said too much, but yeah. You can see that Nodirbek is very happy about this gentleman making the first move. And I've heard that tomorrow the president of Uzbekistan will be making the first move for Nodirbek. But okay, let's check out this very nice game. Sam with white opens with pawn to e4. We have pawn to e5 from Nodirbek, knight to f3, knight to c6, and pawn to d4. We have e captures, knight captures, and bishop to c5, followed by knight to b3. So the Scotch game, this is the Potter variation, avoiding the throbbing variation, obviously, and usually bishop to b6 is the move. But here we have bishop to b4 check. Nodirbek wants to mix it up a little bit. Pawn to c3, we have bishop back to e7, sorry about that, and pawn to f4. Okay, we have pawn to d6, bishop to d3, all been played before, so nothing new being played. Knight h6 and castles by both players. We have knight 1 to d2, pawn to f5, attacking this strong central structure, knight to f3, and now there are some games in the database where a capture occurs on e4, then some like bishop to e5, and okay, the game continues, maybe queen d5 check, but everything is fine. But here Nodirbek played king to h8, and it's hard to say how much of this is preparation because he already burned 10 minutes on the clock, unlike in his game against Abhimanyu. And there is a game, interestingly, that was played between Ivan Zalgado Lopez and Luke McShane, and Luke McShane is also playing in this tournament. However, the game I'm referring to is from 2017 from the World Rapid Championship, where bishop to d2 was played by Ivan, and that game ended in a draw. But here we have e captures on f5 right away, and it is now, as of move 12, that we have a completely new game. Okay, we have a trade on f5, bishop captures, knight captures, and now look at this, pawn to g4, right away from Sam, not afraid of anything. He's not afraid to open up his king and go after Nodirbek's king all the way to h8. We have, probably you could go to h4, but for some reason Nodirbek doesn't like it, because after, let's say, captures and captures, it's hard to say what would be wrong with it. Maybe he was a little bit afraid of maybe the bishop getting trapped there, even though I doubt it. I think he just goes back knight h6 because we all know the best move is always with the knight back, and most likely expecting pawn to h3, but no, the g4 pawn is defended by moving the f knight. We have knight f to d4, queen d7, Nodirbek puts pressure on that g4 pawn, and pawn to f5. Sam defends it by advancing the f pawn. We have knight to e5 and pawn to h3. Okay, everything is nicely defended, although you always have to, worry about some captures, maybe sacrifices happening, because now you're basically playing with your king wide in the open. We have knight h to f7, bishop to f4, Sam continues development, and pawn to g6. Nodirbek decides to break open this pawn chain, but also it means opening up his king a little bit. We have king to h2, bishop to f6, and now knight to e6. Okay, Nodirbek allowed this monster knight to to come all the way here. The other knight could come to b5, will put pressure on c7. All in all, it's a very, very unpleasant piece. Probably Nodirbek knows that at some point he will have to give up the rook for the knight. Maybe you can trade knights. It's hard to say. It will require a few moves. Or, well, yeah, you cannot give a dark square bishop for a knight that has an outpost on a light square. But okay, rook g8. We have queen to e2, preparing to bring the other rook into the game, and g captures on f5. We have g captures and the rook 8 to e8. Rook 8 to d1, nicely aligning the rook with Nodirbek's queen on d7, and Nodirbek just moves it. We have queen to e7, and now knight b to d4. So the queen no longer guards the b5 square. The idea is, of course, knight to b5. And while a6, it's a perfectly valid idea, stop the knight from coming to b5. It's even the top move recommended by the engine. It's not the kind of chess that Nodirbek plays. He just goes knight to g5. He says, all right, I'm ready to put some pressure here, have some control over that f3 square. Maybe the queen somehow gets into the game. Could be interesting. And okay, bishop captures on g5. We have bishop captures on g5, and now knight to b5, putting pressure on that c7 pawn. Interestingly, if you eliminate the bishop, well, or why would you? Because this is a monster knight. Here you might be thinking, okay, let's trade, and then we're going to get this knight all the way to e6. It doesn't really work, because after queen captures, you have some huge problems here, and there's no good way to do anything about it. If rook g1, then queen to f4 check is just extremely strong. King h1, c5, king h1, c5, you kick away the knight, you pick up the f5 pawn, and then white's position is just dead lost. So after bishop captures on g5, knight to b5, putting pressure on c7, and Nodirbek just plays bishop to h4. And the question is, what do you play here? You could play a lot of moves. You could offer a rook trade, rook g1. You could play queen h5, also works, and then go rook g1 with ideas of maybe if rook c8, okay, you defend the pawn, you just go rook g1, and then if queen to f6, let's say you just trade, rook captures. Rook to g1, you offer more trades, and then many moves are possible, but maybe even forcing a repetition with knight g4, something like knight g4 check, captures, queen to e5 check, king h3 attacks the bishop, queen e3 check, sacrifices the bishop as well, or rather trades it for the rook on g1, and then it seems like you're getting checkmated here, but there's pawn to g5, and the game continues. Yes, it's equal, but, I mean, does this look like something that, you would win or lose with either color? Yes, it does. So instead, after bishop to h4, like I said, you could play queen h5, you could go rook to g1, but rook to d4 was played. And there is a problem with this move. And even though the engine will say there are two solutions to this puzzle, there's actually only one, because it involves the other move in both lines. So feel free to pause the video and find the only move that wins the game for Nodirbek while I give you a couple of seconds, even though it's actually two moves. So the brilliant idea is pawn to c5, and bishop g3 being the other move, because pawn to c5 will be your next move. So you have to include bishop g3 at some point. You might as well do it right away. This is how Nodirbek did it. Bishop g3 check, king to h1, and now pawn to c5. And this tempo is just crucial. d5, d4 is coming, and black is just too quick. And there's really no good square for the rook. Where do you go with the rook? He tries rook to e4, which definitely makes sense. There's a queen on e7. But now pawn to d5, and where does the rook go now? If you lose control over h4, then queen to h4 is coming, and you're just lost there. So he tries to keep control over the h4 square, plays rook to a4, but now pawn to d4. Again, queen h4 is coming. So queen to e4, stopping queen to h4, and now look at this, queen d7, putting pressure on the knight and on the rook. And this is what's most interesting about this game. After pawn to c4, there are many ways you could continue this game. But now look at this. This rook is out of the game. This knight is out of the game. What's left in the game? Well, the knight on e6 is a monster, so you might as well get rid of it. Rook captures on e6. Yes, you give up a little bit of material to get rid of the monster knight, but I'm pretty sure everyone agrees this knight is a better piece than this rook. So yeah, captures and captures, queen captures, you even get a pawn while you're at it. And now look at this. Rook, knight, queen, bishop, all attacking the white king, and this knight and rook are completely out of the game, and Sam's just not in time to get them back in. He plays rook to f5, tries to hold a little bit, prevents queen captures on h3, queen to h6. Again, reinstates the threat. We have queen to g2 defending, and now bishop to f4. Opening up an attack on the white queen, and there's really no good way to defend this. You cannot keep an eye on this diagonal, and also on the h3 pawn. Sam played queen to not queen f3. Sam played queen to f1 because you have to play something. And here Nodirbek just played queen to c6 check, and he was in this position on move 36 that former U.S. chess champion Sam Shankland resigned the game, as there is nothing more to be done here. It's mate in 1. However, you want to block with queen f3 or queen g2, those are your only moves, and then queen captures on g2 will be checkmate, or queen f3 and then queen captures on f3 will be checkmate. So absolutely incredible. After defeating the undefeated Nicolas Teodorou, Nodirbek takes down Sam Shankland with the black pieces and is now on a 5-game winning streak. He has 3 more rounds to go in the tournament, and he has yet to face Alireza, yeah, I mean, he's in an incredible form, and yeah, that World Cup showing was, definitely not a testament to Nodirbek's strength. We all expect him to be this good. We all expect him to play this good, and now he's just playing this, amazingly. And yeah, he's almost back at the top 10. I think on the live standings, he's now world number 12, so maybe 7 more points to catch up to Gukesh and then re-enter the world top 10, where everyone knows that he belongs. But yeah, Nodirbek just crushing everyone here. Spectacular victory with black over a strong player like Sam Shankland. That is the Nodirbek that we're used to seeing. So yeah, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any others that you would like to see, of course, use that hashtag suggestion. That's how I, filter out your suggestions. I would like to thank Michael Vaisalia, Andrea Sorcinelli, Eddie Sfer, Brian Pratt, and David Gasparian for your contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing to check up on your wonderful suggestions and whatever else happens in the chess world. Thank you all. I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day. And remember, 2 more days for the sale on Lotus Chess. You can get all sorts of impressive stuff to up to, I think it's almost 60% off for like forever, and only if you enjoy the app. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason you wouldn't, because it's amazing. Try it out if you still haven't. Amazing stuff. See you soon.